All right, let's bring this to David Sears, the retired Navy SEAL, as all of which you just heard could have an effect on the Biden administration's policy toward China. So your reaction, Dave, to Benjamin's report, and then again, how the Biden administration should handle this issue, the Uyghur Muslims in China, as it develops its policy. What do you think?
Yeah, it's horrifying. It's absolutely disgusting. And I think you're going to see more of these things come to light as we get more exposure into China and more people escape from these areas. They have so many people detained in these camps there that word is bound to start getting out no matter how much China tries to suppress it. And it's going to be a huge test for the Biden administration. They have a lot of these coming up. It's not just, it has nothing to do with the Biden administration's. Any shift to a new administration, the international arena is going to test, and they're going to watch. And it's not just with China. They're going to watch, the rest of the world watches how the administration is going to handle this. Are they going to handle it via words, or are they going to take some actions? I think that they cannot let this go and maintain any credibility on the world stage when it comes to other issues that are out there. So they have to draw a hard line with this and either impose some sanctions, they have to censor it through the UN, they have to bring some things up and take actual actions on this.
Let me introduce Iran to the conversation as well. The administration so far, I watched Jake Sullivan as the new National Security Advisor give a briefing yesterday, has talked about things like walking and chewing gum at the same time and trying to push, whether it's China or Russia or other countries, in the direction that we want them to be pushed on certain issues, and then cooperating where we can cooperate. That's obviously easier said than done. On Iran, the talk is whether or not they'll go back into to the nuclear deal that was made under the Obama administration. There was reported to be a National Security Council principals meeting in the Situation Room about this today. Your thoughts on how they should proceed there in terms of Iran, which seems to be clearly in violation of that agreement, right?
Right. Iran is clearly in violation of the agreement. They've said that they're going to violate it because we did first. I think, though, in 2018, you had Israel came in there and managed to steal a bunch of records that showed that Iran was never in compliance with this agreement anyway. And that was strongly shown through some other measures as well, meaning you couldn't do inspections under the agreement in certain military facilities. You couldn't do on-site ones. They were always sort of covering that up. The administration needs to kind of sit back and at least send the message to Iran that you're going to stay under sanctions, and we're going to watch what happens to see what you do in your June elections. So the President Rouhani, is coming up for re-election, or a new term of elections is coming in June, I believe, this summer in Iran. And so that's going to indicate sort of how far conservative it's going. If they put in, for example, one of the IRGCs or the hardliners in Iran, they've already been sanctioned as terrorists by the United States. So now you're going to have a government led by somebody under sanctions and terrorism. I think that one of the other major mistakes that the administration could make is acting as if the last 4 years didn't happen and just trying to reset for nostalgia or as a contrarian move to Trump administration to rejoin the deal. It would be a huge mistake in foreign policy, I believe.
Right. I've heard a lot of people say that change for the sake of it, just because you didn't agree with other policies. Be careful what you wish for in certain cases. Dave, thank you.